Hi friends, and welcome to my not a sewing channel. Still working on that. Did I say channel? Ooh, I meant vlog. Or, yeah, I think I meant vlog. It's the very beginning. I could start over, but I'm not going to. Okay, so welcome to my sewing vlog. And my sewing room. That's right. In an attempt to declutter my house, which is something I am working on right now, I have moved my ring light up to my sewing room. And my sewing room has a lot of extra room. Look, I'm moving over here. I'm moving over here. All this extra room right now because I cleaned it up for a friend that came to visit over Thanksgiving, and then my parents who came to visit over New Year's. So all this lovely room, and I have to figure out how to keep it this way because I have some friends coming for Victorian Festival who are gonna sleep over one of the nights, so it's gotta stay open and nice. Anyway, but this room has this track lighting. So like a high ceiling that like goes like this, you know, and this track lighting, this really bright, harsh track lighting, kind of like the track lighting downstairs. I don't know why the previous owners left track lighting, but they did, and put it in weird places. So when I turn the track lighting on, I feel like I get this like really harsh, oh, I'm blind. I get this really harsh like light on me right there. And downstairs, I can dim, what am I doing with my hands? I can dim the track lighting, which is what I do. But up here, it's either on or off. So I was trying to decide on or off. I think maybe off, I think, though I'm worried the further back I get, you know, I don't know. It's a pretty strong light. Does it go up any higher? Oh, it gets brighter. Oh, I gotta pay more attention to these things. There we go. That's better. Hi. So I totally missed last week's vlog, and I haven't been great about posting on Instagram. And thank you so much for those of you who have been checking in with me. My 2024 just has not been a great start to a new year because I got sick with something completely new. So last year I was sick all through November and all through December with with seasonal bronchitis that turned into like a deep in the chest issue and severe sinus infection that did not go away for like 2 months. And then just when I got off of that, and that was getting better, I got a stomach virus that had me down for like over a week. And I'm just coming off of that. And that's why I didn't film, and I was really random on my Instagram posting because I was sleeping all day and just really sick and unhappy and just couldn't do it. Could not do it. And sometimes you've just got to say, sorry, internet, it is time for me to take care of me. So that's what I've been doing. Today was actually my first day back subbing, and I subbed 5th graders. And they were crazy, but also adorable. And I got a lot of, you're my favorite substitute, which is my favorite thing to hear, like, on the face of the planet right now. So I love that, and it makes me really happy. Any updates in my life for you? I have so much going on. Like, I have so much sewing I have to do. Let's see, I've got my projects right now that I'm working on are for Emerald City Comic Con, which are at the end of February, end of February, 1st March. I am in an American Girls group on Friday where we're all dressing up like American Girl dolls. I'm sure you can guess which one of my friends have influenced me to be in this group. And I'm doing Felicity's meat dress, which I basically have done. The problem is just when I think I'm done, I realize that I have set the sleeves like incorrectly, where they don't look quite right. And so I have taken these sleeves out and reset them in like 3 times, and it's driving me crazy. But other than that, the outfit itself is done, and I'm working on some of the accessories for it. I also have some cosplays that I am working on for Emerald City Comic Con. I am not going to tell you about those right now because I know myself too well, and in case I don't get them done, I don't want... here's the truth. I don't want to make myself accountable to you for these cosplays in case I don't get them done, so that I don't have to feel bad about it. In March, I'm going to an event with a friend, and I need to make a new early Edwardian day dress, one of those frothy, filmy, lacy, lovely day dresses. So that is on the list. And then, of course, the Victorian Festival at the end of April. The Victorian Festival is just like the next big deal. I've got a group of friends, and we're all kind of doing the same theme. So on the Friday of Vic Fest, we're doing 1890s. For Saturday of Vic Fest, we're doing the 1830s. And then for Sunday of Vic Fest, we're doing seaside, I believe, bustle gowns. I know seaside is our theme, but I think bustles is what we're doing. And I'm really excited about all of that. I'm extra excited because I am hosting a ball Friday night. It is going to be a small affair because it is my first time hosting, so I am not, just going huge, but my plans keep getting bigger and bigger. I've got some lovely decorations planned. I'm already planning the dances. People are sharing their outfit plans with me. I know a couple of people are hoping to recreate some Worth gowns. It is going to be just beautiful, and I'm so excited to see everyone. And I have plans for like not a raffle. What is the term for it? There's going to be prizes. And all sorts of just like fun activities at the ball. I'm just really excited. If you're going to the Victorian Festival and you would like to come to Friday night's ball, please go to Facebook and join the Visions of History PNW group. Request to join the group. I think there's a couple of questions just to make sure you're into historical costuming or whatever, but just request to join the group, and the event is in that group. It is a private group. I didn't really know what I was doing when I set all this up, but anyway, just request to join. The ball I will be selling only, there's going to be a limited number of tickets, and the ball is fully nonprofit. It's fully nonprofit. I did the math, obviously I didn't do the math. I had Handsome Puppy do the math so that I know exactly what was needed for the space rental and for everything else we need. So all the money goes right back into the event. So, because that's all I'm trying to do is throw an amazing event. Now, the Victorian Heritage Festival, which is the same weekend, obviously, in Port Townsend, it also throws a dance Saturday night, which I encourage everyone to go to as well. It is just a little less formal. It is, people do dress up. Some do. Some just wear whatever. And Families are encouraged to go, so you'll see children there and stuff, and it can get a little packed with a lot of people and whatnot. So it's still a lot of fun. I am just throwing my ball to kind of have that more elegant, kind of, you know, elegant, adults only. It's 18 plus ball that is an individual time period. So everyone coming to the ball is going to be dressed in 1890s. And that's this year's theme. If the ball goes really well, we'll pick a new costuming dress theme from the Victorian era for next year. I hope it goes well. I hope so. I really have enjoyed hosting events in the past, and I hope this will help me jump back into hosting events in the future. So yeah, and then I think there's a couple of small things after that, but basically the next big thing is Costume College in July. Of course, Costume College in July. I just found out that I've lost my roommate for Costume College. My dear friend who was going to be rooming with me just does not think it is in her finances for this year, which I totally understand and totally get, but and there's no but to that. I totally 1000% support her on that. I mean, I plan and put money away all year long to be able to go to Costume College, so I totally get it. It can be a lot. I just need to figure out roommate. Oh, for some reason this happens to me every year. I don't know why, but it just does. Anyway, so I will have to figure that out. I don't know. Yeah. I also am putting in 2 classes to teach, 2 classes for Costume College. We'll see if they get requested, but I have a bunch of friends who are also putting in classes that they want to teach, and I really want to go to their classes. So if I don't get picked as a teacher, I will not feel bad. One of the classes that I am requesting to do is my Regency placemat bonnet class, which I have improved from last year because I've had a lot of really great feedback from it, and a lot of people have asked me if I'm going to do it again this year because they didn't get to do it last year and they would really like to. So yeah, I will hopefully get to do that this year. What else? I also have some random projects I'm hoping to get around to, but I have so much sewing and I'm so slow at sewing. I mean, I've actually realized it's not that I'm slow at sewing. It's that I procrastinate. And I procrastinate because I get really frustrated with my sewing projects, or I just need a break to like clear my head, and the break ends up being 3 days long instead of just one evening. And I need to be better about focusing on my goals when it comes to sewing, and also my house. Me and Handsome Hobie are hoping that we're going to get to move this year. We're really hoping, because we need to get out of our townhouse for a variety of reasons, some more important than others, some extremely important. It's really hard to afford housing in this area of Washington State. I'm going like this, like you know what I'm talking about. Around the like Seattle area, just basically the Pacific Northwest area of Washington State, housing is very expensive. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do. There's no way we're going back to renting. In fact, renting right now costs more than a mortgage would. You know, it's funny. Handsome hubby found this job the other day and he showed it to me, and it was in Scotland. And he was like, you know, would you move to Scotland with me? And I was like, why do you think that's a question? Of course I would move to Scotland. You know, and I stopped to think about all my friends and how much I love it here. And then I thought about how we don't have children, and we don't have like set lifetime careers here or anything. And I thought, you know, I'd really miss my friends, but why not have an adventure? You know, we're not getting any younger. So I told him, yeah, I mean, I don't think that job was something he really could do or whatever. It just kind of gave him the idea. Oh, hey, look, what if I found a job in Scotland? And, but I started thinking about my house and my things, and I thought, you know, it's really expensive to ship your stuff to like another country when you're moving. It's really expensive. And I thought, you know, what would I be willing to leave behind? Like, what would I be willing to get rid of to minimize what we'd be taking over? And I thought about it, and I looked around my house, and the more I thought, and the more I looked around my house, the more I realized I would be willing to get rid of a lot. Basically all my furniture. I only have 2 furniture items that really mean anything to me, and it doesn't mean enough to spend a bunch of money to ship them to another country. And then I looked at our belongings and all of the stuff. We have so much stuff, and I thought, I'd be willing to get rid of all of this and this and this. A bunch of my precious books, I would get rid of those to be able to move to another country and start a new adventure. And that made me think, well, then why aren't you willing to get rid of some of this stuff now, if it obviously doesn't mean that much to you? So with that thought, it is time for a purge. The purge of all the things. So it's not just going to be my sewing room. It is going to be like our whole house, our whole lives. Things need to go. I'm a sentimental person, but there's a certain point in your life, I think, where you have to look around and say, you know, sentimental versus like mental health versus, you know, how much space do we have versus how much, you know, versus I have no children, who's going to love this after me? Though I did have a thought about that the other day, because I totally broke down one night looking at my precious china that I inherited from my grandmother, and it was like, who is going to get this? My nieces are not going to want this china. They're not, my grandma died when they were tiny. They're not even going to remember who she was. It's not going to be important to them. And I was crying, and I was like, when I die, all of this stuff is just going to be someone's junk, and it's not going to be important to anyone. So the other night I had this thought, and I said, I know what we need to do. You know, when we're older and we're like ready to retire, whatever, we need to find ourselves an Anne of Green Gables. Hear me out. Me and handsome hubby need to find like a 12-year-old who has no family and needs to be adopted, who is whimsical and, you know, loves all things frilly and fun, and, you know, who will take one look at my beautiful things and be like, oh my gosh, these things are so beautiful, and will love all the stories of my grandmother, and will consider them her grandmother, and will, you know, and will love my china and treat it like it's the most precious thing on earth, and will, you know, see all my precious things as her precious things so that I can pass them on to her someday, and she will love them, and she will be, you know, she will be my Anne. That is what I need. So that's my plan right now, is to basically find my own Anne of Green Gables for me to adopt. I never, ever, ever thought that I would be Marilla in that story. But looks like I'm kind of planning to be a future Marilla. Though, really, it's like a future Anne, adopting an Anne. Looking around, because there was something else. Something in this room prompted me, oh, don't forget to mention that. I don't know what it was, though. Yeah, I don't know what it was, so nope. Still haven't come up with a good catchphrase, and obviously I'm not doing the sewing like I was planning on. Hopefully, maybe next week's video I will have things ready to go so that I can sew while I do my video. Hope springs eternal, my friends. I think that's probably it for now. Yeah, that's it. I hope your projects are going well. I hope that you are not overwhelmed by your stuff. And what was your first project of the year? Have you done it? Are you working on it now? Is it coming up? Let me know. I need to know these things. Okay, bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.